and hopefully try and fix it up. The next question is, what have you learnt from your audience feedback? Well, we spoke about in the first one that quite a lot of the audience were generally positive about our piece because of the way we put it together, and they were
like interested in how we did the visual effects, such as the silhouette, like we mentioned.
Because you see in the choruses or in the verses, Jack's face and whole body turns colour,
as does yours,
and mine does in some section. And they were really interested in how we did that. They were really interested how, obviously we said before about the silhouette, how we did that, and
also they're impressed by how we got the miming into sync.
Yeah.
Which we found quite difficult.
Yeah, because
it was a long process, but it's worth it to make it look a bit more authentic.
And but it might seem in the video you're able to see on our website, it might seem out of sync, but in the editing process it was fine. But once we published it, it seemed to get out of sync a little bit. We wasn't too sure why. But
in sections of the chorus where it actually says "This is the life," and who'd argue, there are parts of the silhouetted section where it sort of looks like it's sort of skipped, but it hasn't. It's just, I think that was like an effect we intended, due to like the sort of stutter of life itself, how it doesn't stay at one point and isn't continuous flow. You're sort of held back by certain things in your life, distress, depression, whatever. And yeah, I like that, how that worked.
Yeah.
It looked like it was on a reel. It was on an old film reel, or yeah, something like that, an effect like that, which I thought was quite good.
Also, one of the feedback we got was how the audience like captured the feelings that we were trying to get across. Even though they didn't understand it, they knew that there was intentions behind the reason why we were so dull and gloomy, and why we had shots of just swinging, like the swing on the wire was black and white.
Yeah, we felt that like as long as they understood that we sort of
if they noticed that, even though they didn't understand it, then the intention that we had behind our piece to get that out means that we succeeded. Because if they would have said, "Oh yeah, we enjoy it, well done,"
they wouldn't have known what it was about. They would have probably thought themselves, "Oh, well, it doesn't make sense."
Yeah.
But we'll just say it's good anyway to make them happy. I'd rather them give us constructive criticism, which we could like then further and improve on. But as it was sort of contradictory to the typical indie or alternative genre of music, where it's upbeat, everyone's happy, everyone's sort of like either drunk or just having a laugh with their mates, we sort of just did a total opposite, which I liked, because obviously it's something you haven't really seen.
Yeah, because like I was speaking to Jack, that if we went with just the main stereotypical perception of indie and rock,
it would have been like another video.
It would have been like we would have had tunnel vision. We would have had to go around one street one way, and we would have had to have these in there, these in there. But as we chose to go a different way, this gave us enabled us to just to do what we like, and we interpreted it the way we wanted it. We added what we want. We edited it the way we wanted to, and we used the colours we wanted. We used the areas we wanted, and basically
like
we were free to do what we want, and that freedom, we used that, and we liked the way we were allowed to do that, rather than just sticking to one thing.
The intention of thinking in terms of originality and thinking outside the box, as it were sort of key to our process of the audience feedback, because obviously without an audience it's worth nothing. If no one watches it, it won't spread, no one sees it. It could be as good as anything you've ever seen, but if no one watches it, then nothing.
You're not going to get an audience, and that links to the
next question,
which
is how did you use new technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages?
There's a little description of how we used it, but to go into further detail, obviously we've put that without YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and all the other social network sites. Obviously people wouldn't be able to view it, and we wouldn't have an audience, we wouldn't have an audience feedback, and the work we've done would have been
useless,
if you say so. But by having Twitter, I was able to tweet out to everyone, all my followers, that
This is our video.
this is our video. Can you have a watch?
We didn't mind that if they didn't say anything back to us like, oh, that's like rubbish or that's good or whatever. It was the fact that they'd seen it,
Yeah.
which would have been like, would satisfy me.
Yeah.
Because that way at least
obviously
we've done.
Twitter's massive like, at the moment, and media's just grown in volumes, and we were just able to use Twitter to get it out, and Facebook we're allowed to there, and with Facebook you're able to like it and comment on it, and
Gives you people's interpretation of it.
we had got a couple of comments from them, and they were generally good, and they also reiterated the misunderstanding, because someone commented, I don't really understand this, but
Good video.
but I like the video, and it just highlights the fact that even though there's misunderstanding, they still liked our video, which is good. But also on YouTube, obviously that's the main
video, looking at the website.
the main way we was going to get it out. So I suppose without the new media
technologies that we have available,
we would have been restricted in what we could use and how we'd get it out,
as well as how we are able for people, audiences to view it. It's the way in which we made it as well. So something like, if we were doing this 10 years ago, we would, and we had the technology we had today, we would have been like baffled and wouldn't have understood how to use it.
And you would have been 7, so wouldn't we?
Well, I wouldn't have, because without me, we wouldn't have made it.
And now we're speaking to a camera.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's much more
technology advanced than you realise.
Yeah, because
take that for granted as well.
Yeah, and we're talking to you now, and you'll be able to view this, and it's much more accessible and much more not enjoyable, because you might enjoy us, but watching a video is better than just reading a couple of paragraphs or 2 more paragraphs about how we enjoyed it and stuff. Talking to a video, you can be able to see our emotions more, and a lot of people can understand how much we enjoyed doing this, and compared to just a couple of words, and then just basically the new media technologies just gives us so much more variety, and there's so much more out there that we can use with this now.
I mean, like, as this video, if we didn't have the technology that we use to make it, provided by ourselves and school, we wouldn't be halfway through the process by now. Whereas at this point we've finished due to the accessibility we've had ourselves and via school, which is obviously a positive, and something that we feel very happy about in order to